Quad 6.6. Alright, continuing my adventure of trying to figure out how to lift this HDZero 90 frames per second camera in with a platform that works in my really small yard. And so my latest attempt, which I'm about to try out, is going to be these FPVcycle motors. These are the 13mm motors, and it's the higher kV. I think it's like 6,300-ish kV. And I think that kV is a little low. So I'm actually trying this on these Gemfan 3020 props. So these tri-blades have a little more pitch than the 3016s. It's actually pretty notable. And I'm hoping that that makes up for the slightly low pitch. So what to me is most interesting about these motors is how much negative feedback I got so quickly. So I posted up a little post on the community section of the YouTube. And pretty much everybody's like, these motors are super fragile, and the feedback just was not great. And I think I remember having those discussions before, but I don't know. I figured I'd give them a try. Anyways, what's kind of the other part about this is why these motors? I tried these, the Teen Motor 1104s, which I've been using on the 2.5-inch props, and they actually work just fine. I put these on the 3-inch build and with the 3016 props, and it actually flew fine. But FPV being FPV, I've really sort of soured on these motors because initially this prop shaft was on the first batches I got. The props were sitting on there, not super tight, but tight enough to where using the nylon screws, I would get a pretty good platform. They weren't problematic, but the more recent batches I've had with these, the fit of the prop on that shaft is just so loose that it makes it too easy to break the nylon screws, and basically every time I touch the ground I'm breaking a nylon screw, and no, I'm not using steel screws on it. I refuse. We just need better products. So unfortunately, as much as I like these motors initially, I've really kind of soured on them, which has made me go back hunting again. So hunting we are. So I'll try this. I'm going to throw this up and take it around a little bit. So one of the questions is why this? Why 2S? So that's the thing. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to fly this on 2S. The reason I'm trying to do that is because I like these batteries. These Tattoo R-Line 550 2S. And once you throw a third cell on here, this thing just becomes really big and heavy. And I don't want to get quite that far away. So why not just do, I don't have the pack out here. So then one of the other questions is why not just use the little 300 GNBs? And what I'm finding is just that with decent cells, so for example, if we had these folded 300s, these are decent enough cells, and as long as they're matched, you're actually going to get a pretty decent pack. But with the GMB 300s, and these obviously aren't the 300s, I've just been noticing too much variability from one cell to the other, and then what happens is you basically end up hammering on the weak cell, and the pack basically flies to the lowest cell, meaning like it performs like it would if all the cells were basically poor. And so one of the reasons I go with the 2S is just I've found that these bigger cells are a little more consistent, and also with 2 cells there's just that much less chance of having a really bad mismatch between the cells. And in particular, I like these R-lines. They've just been consistent. So that's why I'm ending up with this kind of funny build with the 3020 props and these higher kV FPVcycle motors. But let's put it up in the air and see what happens. All right, here we go. First thing, before we get into this, please excuse my flying. I have not been flying nearly as much as I'd like to, and so this is actually literally like my first HDZero flight in quite a while. So stick time is going to be, I'm going to be sloppy. Let's just put it that way. It's going to be super uninspiring. But that's not really what, and there's actually a lot of wind too. What is What's my temperature flashing? Is it unhappy because it's hot? You see that up in the upper left-hand corner? Like, it's got a little fire symbol. Is that my goggles or is that my VTX? Little wobbles on this tune. It is really windy though, so alright. This thing is heavy. Sorry, kind of whisked out and disarmed. Alright. Really? I've been the prop? Yeah, you can hear that. Well, let's take a look at it. Yeah, so that looked like I bent the prop and straightened it. This guy's got all kinds of wobbles. It is really truly windy out, but it feels like all kinds of little wobbles. I think the power is good. Yeah, that's a good little huck there. You can see the wind. The wind did not let it carry over the house. That would have totally carried over the house, but the wind was like, nope. So I think power is fine. Are you hearing all these fans? I've got so much fan going on these goggles right now. It is like 90 something out. I'm comfortable, but my equipment does not seem as comfortable. Well, let me kind of man up here and try and get into some of this tight stuff and see how we feel about it. Oh. Yeah, okay. I feel like I have all the fans on Earth sitting on my face. Am I just being a coward? How flyable is this thing? It's actually pretty good, especially considering how rusty I am. So I don't want to take a risk and start heating the motors up. Yeah. I wonder how I think I'm going to try the 3016s because this quad just feels really fast. I think it's got plenty of power, and if we chill it out, the 3016, and flight time's good. Look at that, 420. And I've been, flying it. Haven't really been. Let me bring that down. Let me bring that down. Put another pack in. Okay, so that was the Tatsu R-Line 500 battery. Now I've got the G&D 550 red labels. And these in particular are actually the race day quad version of it. This battery I think might be slightly lighter than the R-Lines. Not 100% sure on that. You know, I think so far, as much as all of you hated these motors, I think this is my favorite setup so far with these 90, with this 90 camera. Drilling out the props, that was a little annoying. I guess we can try it on the 3018's 5-blades. Because those you can get in the 2-inch holes. This quad definitely has, so I think like if you're more of a Ciotti kind of person, you like a little more huckable quad, you would like this. This one sort of falls out of the sky a little easier for me. I like a little floaty kind of stuff because it just basically gives me more time to think about it and do what I... Whoa, that was a little ghost branch right there. Let's see what happens here as I get more comfortable with the quad. You know, like the power band, it's pretty intuitive on this setup. So it's kind of nice. Oh, wait. I do wonder, am I running on, I think I'm on 90 frames per second. Should probably double check that. But yeah, this is a pretty decent little platform. Shame that these motors apparently are super fragile, but also shame that we have to drill out props. But honestly, I'll take drilling out props rather than this nonsense that I've been dealing with the T-motors. Hey! That was ugly. Got away with it though. Am I gonna get? Nope. That's kind of a intimidating move. That I've been working on that a little bit. I shouldn't say I've been working on it. I tried it with. So I busted out my old 1S 3-inch, and you know that's probably why this thing feels heavy to me a little bit too. Is because I flew that. And that's super floaty. And it's sort of like, in that regard, for some of this stuff, like a little cheater quad, like having that much float. So these batteries are doing okay too, so we're getting to 4 minutes. I can live with that. Yeah, I can also live with this too. That's not bad. Alright. Oh wait! I don't know why I keep making that really dumb noise, but that's not bad. So, I'm happy with this. You know, 4 minutes of flight time, over 4 minutes. And I'm getting a nimbleness. I'm lifting the 90 camera. Not bad. Not bad. Alright. Till next time, cheers.